Hi, my name is Christopher Zacharias. This is my philanthropic project for SPCE 683, Section 805 with Dr. Boff. The contents I'm going to cover are the needs assessment, the gaps and needs of the population I'm targeting, the programs I'm planning, stakeholders. I'm going to identify the stakeholders, the types of funding I'm trying to secure, and then the timeline I'm creating. So my needs assessment, I'll be creating surveys to give out to organizations serving individuals with autism living in group homes. Some example questions I'm going to put in that survey is like, what are the most concerning behavioral health needs? How are these concerns addressed when they occur? You can make one change in how challenging behaviors are addressed. What would it be? I'm trying to get a basic background of like if their knowledge of ABA and whether their behavioral health interventions are helping, if there are any. After the needs assessment is complete, um, some gaps or needs I've identified in this population is the lack of knowledge to address problem behavior. So caregivers and group home, they uh, help these individuals throughout their day. They provide medication, daily living skills, emotional support, but they tend to experience problem behavior. And if they don't have that basic knowledge of behavioral principles and how to address the function of that behavior, they may be inadvertently reinforcing that problem behavior. Another gap is developing independent daily living skills. If there aren't systematic interventions, caregivers have it. There could be a tendency of just providing or just going through the day to make it easier on themselves. If a client engages in problem behavior while brushing their teeth, they might brush their teeth for them. So we need to help, or I'm going to try to help develop programs to teach them how to properly fade or prompt individuals and fade those prompts over time so uh, those adults can achieve independence in those daily living skills. Then another barrier is financial barriers. It can be expensive. If they're choosing specific therapies, they might have to choose one over another. And then families might be from low income and they can't afford services at all. Programs to to reach caregivers, I'm planning to create workshops to teach them about ABA, strategies on how to reduce problem behavior, and include bi-weekly consults to ensure that they are following what I'm teaching. For daily independent living skills, develop individualized intervention plans, teach them how to collect data, teach them how to prompt, and teach them about the fading criteria of like when to fade your prompts or their prompts. And financial barriers, workshops will be free. My plan is to make at least one of them mandatory, and then they feel like it helps. If not, additional ones are optional. Um, Direct services, such as the consult for the independent daily living skills, will be at a low price. There is a thought of if you put it free, some clients might feel like they're less than the general population. So we could set prices at a really low price so everybody can afford it to avoid that problem. For stakeholders, we're looking at the care home employees. They're responsible for providing direct care and they advocate for the population they serve. They're in communication with different organizations, such as like day programs or other group homes. So from word of mouth, they can spread the need for ABA services. Client and families are essentially the decision makers for receiving care. They can promote services to other families too. Um, Trying to seek testimonials to see if ABA works for them or not. And then another stakeholder is a Golden Gate Regional Center. They serve thousands of clients I'm from California, in California, Northern California. When Napa State Hospital closed in, I think, 1975, um, that there was a lot of, I guess, individuals with mental health disabilities that were pushed into the communities, and some of them were those adults with autism, and they started moving in group homes. So they have a lot of connections. They provide service to many people. They can be a source of referrals, advocacy, and education. funding sources, specifically, my plan is to get a lot grant to get grants as the beginning. One of them is from Autism Care Today to provide funding sources to families affected by ASD. Another one is Autism Speaks Local Impact Grants. They provide organizations with grants that who serve people with autism. And then there is one called the California State Council on Developmental Disabilities. It's a program that provides funds for events that promote self advocacy, leadership, and education for people with developmental disabilities and their families. With that last one, I'm trying to make an event where I could network and create more, I guess, connections with other people. Hopefully, maybe develop partnerships with others to get more funding or get some sponsorships. But um, yeah, so my basic timeline, I laid it out for 12 months. Um, the first few, like month one, I'm trying to cover like develop the basic materials to teach like the caregivers, um, or give like make brochures to give out to the stakeholders when I first meet them. Um, Going into more specifics, I think my big milestone, my first one is to send in that SEDD proposal because before you make that event, it needs to be 90 days minimum before the event can occur. But from there, going down the timeline, I think it's group month five. No, let's see. Share information. Okay, so around like month 5 or 6, um, I'm gonna start planning to. I'm gonna create start my first cohort as a trial run for the program, so I can assess any like obstacles or unpre- uh, unexpected problems that occur, and then reassess my program and make adjustments. Then towards month 9 or 10, I'm gonna still try to get more funding through like online sources like crowdfunding or social media. But once I figure out the kinks in my program, I'm gonna look for a bigger cohort, the next cohort with my updated programs in month 11 and 12.